Alright everybody, welcome back. It's time for some more Strange Aeons. I know it's a bit later than usual. There's been various delays. As some of you may know, I've been enjoying the Curse of Oak Island series, and to end the season they had a double bill. I actually fell asleep and slept through the end, so I don't know quite what I missed, but I'm sure I can find out eventually. Just ask my father later or something, because he was watching it as well. Alright. Paul doesn't seem to be with us at the moment. Not quite sure why. Hopefully he'll perk up in a bit, because he did drop off a comment like half an hour ago or something, so he should have been here by now. Alright. So you did all get to go and sleep and rest up and feel better in the morning. And I was so nice and kind that I actually let nothing bad happen while you rested. So it was a nice, safe sleep. Michael?
Yes?
You're lucky.
Yes? Why am I lucky?
You had Virgil go back to his workshop and sleep there. And you didn't find that the place was full of squatters or anything like that. So, bonus, right?
Yep, bonus indeed.
Oh no, now it's full of squatters.
It's very true, actually.
So do I minus 1 day from the onset from my EMO?
Yeah, I've been tracking all those anyway.
Does Lady Catherine get another saving throw against that ability drain, or do I just have to have it removed, or at least level?
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? Generally there is a save, isn't there?
Huh?
I said generally there is a save.
Yeah. So there isn't, or there is?
Well, there was.
It doesn't sound like there is one.
It means I'm checking.
Oh, okay.
So there was no initial save, right? It was just a on-hit energy drain. And the energy drain, I'm just thinking, because it's, God, what is it? Go away. Okay, that can't be right. There we go. Next, I'm thinking, is there a... Oh wow. Yeah, this is not the one you get a save against the next day to make it temporary. This is the one that needs a proper fix. Ow.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
I was thinking, because there was no save DC listed for it, and normally there would be for something like that, so that's very, very bizarre. However,
I'll have to speak to Winter about that.
oh, sorry, I'm kind of feeling a bit congested at the moment, kind of, gunked up in the nose area. Ah, there's our missing player appearing now, apparently. So, can I just, for my information, know who's sleeping where?
I am in the inn, paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Since somebody lied and reneged on what he agreed to, I paid for it, and I'm here.
Alright.
Kind of pissed.
So I just need to know who's staying at the Silver Wagon and who's staying at Virgil's workshop.
What wasn't about to pay no bill that I don't remember causing.
Yeah, and I did say that I was going to remind you of that at some point in the future. And I want to check... Hang on. I want to check... Oh god, fucking... They need to fix the calendar to show the day of the week.
Sorry about that.
Calistrel's what? Again, you have to find the bloody Inner Sea World Guide now, because these bastards can't do their job. To be fair, it's a very good framework, it's just lacking some very crucial pieces of information. Essentially what I'm doing is checking that I progressed the day last time when you rested.
Calistral would be February.
Yeah, okay. Well, that can't be right.
Go to manual. Entry, and you click on the drop-down menu for the months. They're listed in Gregorian calendar order.
Yeah, that's not too helpful at the moment.
Okay. As for the names of the days, I don't know how to help you.
Right, so... Yeah, that can't be. That just can't be. Because we did work out it was Wheel Day last time, and I think Calistral isn't February. I think it's like March or April or something. Hang on.
So if you say it was Wheel Day, then it should be Oath Day.
Yeah, I know. Which means January, I think, actually. Not February.
Here is a resource that may help. The Pathfinder Wiki Calendar.
It's not that useful.
Well, got all the days of the month and seasons. The names of the week, the names of the days of the week.
Well, Calistral would be February, it being the 7th. Oh, bloody Sunday, that doesn't tally up at all. Oh, bugger. Well, something very odd's going on. Did I look at the calendar for the wrong year? Hang on.
That calendar listing was also made in August 10th, 2007, so...
That does not add up at all. That's really bizarre. And I don't know why it doesn't add up. That's the annoying part. I may have been looking at the wrong month or something, but anyway. I did ask you lot to let me know who was staying at the workshop and who was staying at the Silver Wagon.
I was at the workshop.
Wagon.
Alright.
I think there was one other with me and Virgil at the workshop.
Yeah. Okay, that's that sorted. We know who that was.
I remember who that is. It was
It was Eric.
Eric.
Okay, so basically those three at the workshop, the rest at the Silver Wagon. Got it.
Yeah.
So, those of you in the workshop get to wake up in the morning feeling a bit stiff and sore. You know, you've been kind of curled into awkward corners, you know, shoulders wedged up against the counter, knees bent at an odd angle. You're just feeling that bit uncomfortable, like you haven't had the best night's sleep. Those of you waiting at the inn are woken by a knock on the door in the morning.
Okay.
Whoever it is waits for the door to be opened or answered or some kind of response.
Is Glenn or Cass or anybody else that's in the pub there?
Gotta wonder, eh?
Alright, I'm back.
BRB real quick.
Well, this is...
You know, it could just
distressing.
be me, but I'm getting the distinct impression this doesn't really seem to be happening tonight.
Well, other people do have, you know, family lives in the background that they
Of
may
course.
get called away for. So,
Of course.
it happens.
The lady that's moving in next door is over there working on stuff, so they sometimes come over and knock and ask for something to continue to work.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
Happy for a while, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, and, wait, Lila was staying at the inn, wasn't she? Or was she
Yes.
staying at the workshop? Okay. Well, I did say there was a knock on the bedroom door early in the morning
Oh,
in the inn.
So I was just making over good tea. So I missed that bit. So I go back and quickly sort of like get up and make sure I'm dressed a bit and hang on a minute, just get my shoes on and I sort of like make sure I'm dressed or reasonably dressed and open the door. Who is it?
Outside is a relatively well-dressed middle-aged man, and I use the word relatively in its loosest possible sense.
He's either so young or very old. Yeah.
Well, he's well dressed, as in his garments are on his body. He's got a ponytail, black goatee. You saw him at the Sleepless Building the other night. Allard Hagley, I think his name was. You think? You're not quite sure. And he smirks slightly, you know, the corner of his lip just curling up as he sees you. He says, "Good morning, milady."
Can I help you? I seem to remember you from somewhere. Something must be going here.
Yes. Ms. Rentz asked you to perform a favour this morning.
Firstly, I forgot what it was, but you know, and what was that?
Well, I've been sent as a reminder. One of the town fishermen, by the name of Tolly Remsatter, has been seeing some things recently, and she'd like you to help get to the bottom of it, while she deals with some other matters.
Oh, I look as if I remember totally, but obviously I don't personally. But oh yes, I'm sure we'd be glad to help out. Are my associates ready for this yet, or
I'd advise you to inform them. I'll just be downstairs in the tap room. I can take you to him, and well, I wish you all the best of luck.
Okay, I make sure I'm properly dressed, as in get my cloak and all that sort of stuff, and bags and stuff. And after 5 minutes, I go out and knock on the other doors. So those who are in the inn, that is anyway. And personally, as a character, as a player, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure my character might remember something, even if I don't. So I knock on the doors of the others and say, "Oh yeah, that job the guy wanted us to do, waiting for us downstairs apparently." Knocking at people's doors. Yeah, knocking around.
Alright, I'm back.
Well, congratulations on completely missing that and making it back just at the perfect time. So, in the morning, as you're making your preparations, you get a...
Oh, I was talking to my son.
Okay. So, in the morning, you get a knock on the door, and it's Lila reminding you that the Sleepless Detective Agency requests your assistance this morning.
Okay, Lady Catherine is in my head.
Understood.
I guess I will make my way to the Sleepless Detective Agency.
Yeah, they're waiting for us downstairs apparently. They come to us.
Oh, okay, then I'll make my way downstairs.
Me down for breakfast. They go to the next person, knock on their doors and repeat the chores, as it were.
There's only 3 of us staying here. Everybody else is in.
I'm just checking... Right. Okay, nobody seems to need to make disease saves today, so that's a good thing.
Yay!
On the other hand, the various countdowns till unfortunate mental conditions kick in are getting shorter by the day.
And a peacock losing its beak.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work like that, but you know it's not entirely untreatable.
No, I understand that. I can go and treat it. It's just that we don't have a head cleric that has removed disease yet.
It's like a 3rd level spell, and we're at 3rd level. So,
You don't have a party cleric at all, actually, for that matter.
Yeah. I wasn't even saying a party cleric. I'm saying we don't have the head temple cleric who could go and do that.
Or even the money to pay for him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm so
Anyway.
sorry, I don't have my greatsword so that I can help you with that diseased bird to make sure it doesn't die of disease.
Nah, you don't want to make sure that it won't die of a disease. You just want to make sure it won't infect anything else. So,
If I have a greatsword, I can make sure it doesn't die of disease.
So, Lila hopefully manages to rouse Gregor and Renacia and take them downstairs. And there you see this lovely old fella, got his cap on.
Oh, him.
Yeah, just sitting down in the bar with Allard Hagley.
Oh, that's the fisherman, is it?
He looks at you as you come in. He says, "Ah," and nods towards a seat.
I order a breakfast and a light ale from the bar.
The landlady just kind of makes a mental note that you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, how much is that going to cost? Something like 2 silver, something like that?
Sure, she'll take 2 silver for that. Saves me having to look up prices for now, but yep.
Yeah. That's what everyone charged us yesterday, so I presume that's roughly the right size. Right, cost me light ale and a breakfast. Won't be much breakfast, but like a light stew and a few dumplings, so probably that's it. And a bit of bread.
Tolly kind of looks at the 3 of you as enter the room, and he leans across and murmurs something to the detective who is sitting beside him. And Allard just kind of, offers a smug grin, shrugs, And Tolly says, I thought you said there'd be more of them.
Oh, we have more friends, but
They deemed not to stay here. They went to another area.
Oh. He said there was a lot of you gonna... Don't do much for a fella's confidence when only 3 people turn up to keep him safe.
yeah, but there's more of us, and we faced a fair few horrors already and blew them away.
You blew...
We blasted them. Well, I blasted. That guy there hit him with a big sword.
Mr. Hagley? And I just kind of says, yes. He says, I think people what talk like this might be the root of some of the problems with the townsfolk feeling really insecure and worried at the moment. And Allard says, yes, quite possibly.
Could be a great possibility, sir. But you seem to need our assistance with something, so I'd be happy.
Aye. There's, witch. See?
Question. How long does it take to get from Virgil's to the pub for breakfast?
I don't know, there's a scale down in the bottom right hand corner of the map, isn't there? So it's about that much. So that's about
Probably about 5 minutes, maybe.
6, 12, 18. It's about half a mile. So maybe 7 or 8 minutes. Plus, call it about 10 minutes because you've got to get up, get dressed, get out of the building and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they call this a city. This is barely a town. Anyway.
Just out of curiosity, could you hear me earlier?
No, you were inaudible. I hope you're alright.
I'm okay now. I did try speaking on several occasions, but it doesn't seem to
Oh.
be working.
That's not
I
good.
switched back to this computer, so it works on this computer.
Well, nice to be able to hear you now then. Did Renacio want to go down and meet the fella?
Yeah, I did, and I don't. I've been trying to.
Oh, sorry.
my path.
Well, take the opportunity now as he sits there, looking into, a fairly substantial pint at this point. He hasn't, drank too much of it yet.
What, the detective?
No, the detective is staying sober at the moment. The old fisherman, on the other hand, has no such concerns.
Well, good opportunity to ask him all sorts of questions. For example, what did you see?
Well, you know as how the old witch, right?
The old witch? Go on.
The old witch, there's folks as tell stories of the old witch. The Thrushmoor witch. The
Yes, I've heard
Briarstone
of
witch. Right? Well now, I was out casting my nets the other day, fishing like, it's my job, and got a bit of a strong current, carried me out a bit further than what I usually go, and so by the time I'd done all the good fishing I could, it was getting a bit late. See? And so I was coming back a bit late. Now, there's some old caves up along the coast where the old witch used to live, see? Or at least folks say she used to live there. And as I was rowing back past that old cave, I seen a light in that cave. I have like a candlelight or torches. It were
Doesn't
not
seem out of the
natural.
ordinary.
What?
Doesn't seem out of the ordinary. Anybody could have been stopping by in there or staying in there as a shelter.
Well, that's true, they might have done, but, see, what were folk getting worried, right? And that fella going round saying as how the witch is coming to get us all, seemed to me like a bit of a coincidence, see?
Mm-hmm.
And I seen light in that cave the last few nights now. Got me a thinking might be a danger, and I'd like to know what's going on.
How can you be so? How can you be sure? Did you attempt to approach the mouth of the cave?
Well, I came as close as I dared, but those lights, it's like someone was in there, you know, and moving around. Didn't feel right somehow.
So, it's nothing but a feeling. Am I
And some lights. I mean, it's not like it's going to be some kids messing around in there, because most kids know better, see?
Most.
Most, aye.
Well,
It's a bit far out for townsfolk to go, unless they really wanted to go there, and not everyone knows exactly where this cave is, see?
well, I can't say that there's solid evidence to suggest that there could be danger posed by whoever's in that cave, but as you say, it's quite far, and unless someone had reason to, for whatever reason,
Well,
it should be out there.
it's not far if you're a witch, because witches got magic, see?
So, you're saying it's a witch?
Well, it's where the Briarstone witch used to live, and if she's coming back like what that fella said, well, don't rightly feel I can sleep comfortably, well, not at night.
Well, no harm in making sure, I suppose.
Right, he chews his lip for a moment and says, I'd be willing to give you all a lift to a cave in my boat, and to row you all back again afterwards, but I'm not going in there with you.
Of course not.
That's fair.
Your companions coming or what? They seem to be very absent.
Yes, they're
Don't
coming. They
wait,
always
have-
come. Don't worry about whether or not they speak.
I see. I think.
They should be arriving sometime. If not, we will go retrieve them.
Finish your drink and sober up. Eventually. We'll
Right.
get our companions.
He takes a swig on his drink and waits. And eventually your companions may turn up. They seem to be somewhat reticent to do so at the moment.
Well, I'm the only one that said I was leaving.
I know!
Here, so
And
I
after a
can't-
little while you do arrive.
I got up and eat breakfast. I go in, poke
Now,
the air
what-
with a wooden sword.
What did you have for breakfast?
And you get swung at for poking me with a wooden sword. You woke me up.
It's time to go. I don't know. I'll probably have had some of my rations because I don't actually think I would have food, or not spoiled food at this point. Do I have food that's not spoiled?
Not exact. Let's see. You've been in the asylum about 3 weeks, so not very much.
Okay, then I'll just have some rations.
I'm actually curious to speak to the detective.
Or actually, no, I'll go to the Indigo and get breakfast.
Alright, you're heading in to get breakfast. Mr. Hagley is still seated at the table. What would you like to talk to him about?
Well, Mr. Sorry, what's it again?
Hagley. Allard Hagley.
Nice, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hagley.
Indeed.
I'm sure you've heard the whole story from our friend, the fisherman here.
I was sitting here at the table with him as he recounted it to you, yes.
Would he have told you more before? Well, before he was, rather tipsy.
Not much more. And he's only had the one so far.
What do you think? Would you give stock to such stories?
It's interesting. There have been numerous disappearances of late, and if whoever is responsible for townsfolk vanishing off into the night is indeed hiding out in this cave, it definitely merits investigation.
That is true.
However, I'm not a sizable group of heavily armed individuals, at least one of whom frequently speaks of blasting things into non-existence.
Yes. Don't mind her. It's her special ability. It works whenever she gets scared.
Oh, really? I was hoping you were going to say something else there. I see. And, well, Ms. Rentz did request your assistance in investigating this matter in particular, while the organisation looks into other incidents that are... the whole town. Just be careful, will you? Another one of those blasted murals appeared on the city walls last night.
Oh?
Yes.
What was it describing, or if you could
Depicting.
even describe it?
The same ruined cityscape as always, I'm afraid.
Doesn't sound very good for this city as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, I don't
Another one?
know
How many so far?
quite... 17 so far.
Gosh, it must be quite a lot. 17.
Yes, this one looked slightly different.
As in, how?
Well, usually they are completely abandoned. But when I peered at this one, I could have sworn I saw some tiny figures in the distance in one of the ruined streets.
Well, that's rather unsettling.
A small group of them. I couldn't tell if they were moving towards or away. They were so, just dark silhouettes. Very well drawn, I must say. The
Is it?
artsmanship was exquisite. Oh, and
Is it as it is? Doesn't make it any less unsettling.
there was a unicorn in the corner, like a signature. I'm not sure why.
A unicorn?
Yes, a silhouette of a unicorn, of all things, in the corner of the image. Come to think of it, that's been appearing in the last 2 or 3 now.
I'm not quite sure if this is a coincidence now.
In my experience, a coincidence is usually a connection waiting to be discovered.
Yes, in my experience as well. But some things are just easier not to witness believed. But with what we've experienced so far, it's very difficult to dispel such thoughts. We met a unicorn while we were trapped on the asylum.
He raises an eyebrow. Milady, don't take this the wrong way, but while you were in the asylum and you encountered this unicorn, were you under any form of medication? Perhaps particularly strong medication?
No.
I see.
None of us were.
Intriguing. I can't say I've personally encountered a unicorn myself. What was it like?
A dream.
Horny.
A horned dream, I see.
It was part of
Could you-
someone else's dream.
Could you describe the encounter further? This is most intriguing. And he leans forward slightly.
Well, it was terrifying as well as it was intriguing because I must say, I don't know if you believe us, but we've encountered a lot of things while we were on that asylum. And I swear to you, we were not on any medication. Rather, I would blame of all things, magic.
Yes, sorcery is often at the root of many discrepancies when it comes to our investigations. One should not immediately write off something that sounds improbable.
Well, yes, but aside, that aside, the unicorn was threatening at first, as far as I can remember, but it aided us in the end. And I'm wondering what connection that may have to the mural that you've seen that's been recent.
I see. Well, not having met this unicorn personally, I'm not entirely sure I could say. It didn't,
This would be something I'd have to discuss with my companions, because they were with me when it happened first.
I see.
Now I repeat, we were not on any medication.
You notice that Tolly is taking another swig from his pint while he waits for the rest of your companions to turn up.
Kinda wish I was, but yeah.
Well, if I've managed to show up at the time that she's been talking to him...
Oh,
I've
you've
got
managed to
done
show
in
up by
chat.
now, yes.
Well, I've got in the chat what all I've done, so... I just didn't want to
Yeah,
talk
that's-
over everybody.
Really not very helpful. Okay.
Can I clarify the inn they're at is the one that's asking me to pay for something?
Uh-huh.
Is there a fishmonger in town?
You know, they're probably, if you went to the marketplace, you could probably buy some... Oh, hey, Virgil. See this great big thing sticking up out of the ground here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of been there longer than you have. So, I'm going to remind you that it exists. Okay?
Okay. What is it?
Given that it's so near to your shop, it's like a kind of giant standing stone surrounded by text that I haven't been able to remove yet. So I'm just going to pop this in there for you to have a little look at.
Okay.
Just try and ignore the writing. And that should be in the Skype group chat for you to look at now. Surrounded by lots of writing that I just haven't had time to remove, and I'd like to. So you guys get unfortunate bonus writing that may give away massive secrets here.
I can't read that sword, but I see an obelisk.
Yes, so it's a kind of D-shaped cross-section rather than being fully circular. Alright, it's got a flat back. There are many strange inscriptions on it, and there are two of these in town. One over here, near the Sleepless Building and Virgil's workshop, and the other one out here on the island with the gibbet and the book layers.
Do they celebrate something, whatever? A landmark, a victory, or, or a coronation or something, or what?
They are very, very old.
Yes, but
And they're written in no local tongue, the inscriptions upon them.
yeah, but there should be a local law for that to say if they actual celebrating the death of a king or coronation of a queen or.
They are ancient antiques that may even predate the town itself.
So they have no idea how they got there. They were there when
They-
they first built the place.
Yep, and they don't know how they got there.
And nobody thought to ask. Okay.
Oh, people thought to ask, but they never really. Hey, you know what? I want to just double check something here, right?
Okay.
Because when you were in the asylum, there was mention of Ulva Xandalus having depicted some standing stones in his art that he had never had the opportunity to personally visit. And this, it may have been one of these that he was drawing,
Oh, okay.
or something very similar.
I'm actually interested in seeing these murals. Could you mark it out on a map? I'm asking the detective.
Allard frowns. He says, I could, but it will take me some time. Let me
No
get
worries.
back to you on
In the
that.
meantime, I'll be discussing some things with my companions.
I'll head back to the Sleepless Agency and get on with that now then. Before I do go, one thing, one little thing. Well, it's not little really.
Okay.
If you do take Mr. Remsatter up on his offer of a boat trip to the cavern, do make sure nothing bad happens to him. He is one of the local townsfolk, and we wouldn't want it to reflect badly on you or any of us if he would suffer any kind of unfortunate instance
I
involving...
understand. Completely understandable.
Good. I'll see you later then.
Later.
Oh, and Ms. Politis,
Yes.
good to have you back, by the way.
Yes. Good to be back.
Nice to see you haven't... Well, you know.
Frowns. Yes.
Old habits, you know what they say? Right.
Yeah.
And he stands and walks out of the bar.
Old habits. Oh well.
You said dreams is more like a nightmare.
What, the unicorn?
No, that was a nice part of it. But the other time you talk about dreams is that all those horrible monsters, ghost things. Ooh, I should jump.
I don't feel I don't feel any differently, Lila. I know how terrible they were. I was there. Gosh.
Okay, Azure is... She's placed the spoon in the doll's hand and seems to be waiting for it to start eating her breakfast.
So
Does
I
it
find
have-
that
Well,
fishmonger.
it's holding the spoon.
Azura, I'm very
I-
sure
Ho-
the doll does not need to eat
Hold on one
No,
moment.
no.
Um,
Picking the doll up and feeding myself, but the doll's holding the spoon while I'm holding the
Alright.
doll and the spoon.
So, hold on there, Evan.
Okay.
So yes, Glenn, Eric does manage to head off to the market round here, and it's a kind of indoor market contained in a large kind of group of conjoined buildings. This is rather bizarre, and you imagine that were this on another world, there'd be a bunch of really bored, bratty teenagers with far too much makeup hanging around here, slagging each other off and thinking they owned the place.
The name's Scott. You got me mixed up with Glenn.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I will go to the fishmonger and get a fresh fish.
Okay, you find a few fishermen selling fish and purchase a fresh fish.
I ask them to clean it for me, and I'll throw in an extra cup of copper for them to do it.
Yeah,
When the comes in,
the moody-faced old fishwife just guts the thing, cleans it, hands it to you.
Alright, so would it be, what, 5 silver or something?
Call it 1 silver, love. She takes the coin from you, bites it, nods, and tucks it into her apron.
Thanks. And I start eating the fish as I walk off.
You eat the raw fish as you walk away.
Count for
Sushi.
Want to make me a perception check as you walk away?
Sure.
yeah.
Give me a bit of a hardish one. Because you're not actively looking for something. I've got a rough... No, okay, fine. You're absorbed in the fish. It's taking up a lot of your attention. Lila, you're not there at the fish market.
Oh, I thought it was more towards you guys, so fuck that.
Oh, no. That was specifically for him
I was not sure
after he'd purchased his fish.
I wasn't sure if we were all together or not, that's all.
No.
I mean, I was away making tea earlier, so I might miss
So, where's Eric going after he has consumed his raw fish?
I'm not going in that tavern. I'm still upset with them. They said I did something I don't remember doing. That's why I had to go get the fish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stand outside the tavern waiting on her.
Okay, you stand outside the tavern and you see a couple of women going past on their way to market. You know, middle-aged housewife types. And they're gossiping, one to the other. And one's saying she heard something about one of the lunatics escaped from the new chapel. And when they dragged him back in, he murmured something about they're coming out of the walls, And she doesn't know what he might have been talking about, but you never can tell with these nutters.
Anyone that actually takes the time to listen to Azure while she's talking to the doll and eating, she's talking about how Una will have to take care of those nasty rogues from now on while I hide from them.
Mm-hmm. That's very reasonable. And I'd like to remind you that... Oh no, that has onset fully now, yes.
Uh-huh.
And what...
Between all of that, I'm thanking her for feeding me, and she's just a doll right now. She's not summoned.
And what is Ulna's personal obsession again? Is it staying near Gregor because he's shit scared of her and thinks she's going to get him or something?
Oh no, we just do that to fuck with him.
Okay.
And that's not Una, that's Azure.
Mm.
Just does that to creep him out. No, Una has a mania of ghosts.
Yeah.
Destroy them. According to this.
Yeah.
You can see the object of her mania. She wants to rush to... Oh, yeah. She wants to interact with
Lady Catherine.
with Lady Catherine all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to get messy.
It's not an issue.
Glenn, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
You've been a bit quiet.
Eating
I
my
just...
food, letting everybody talk.
Okay. Kind of waiting for everyone else to assemble.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what they're doing because I wasn't there for it, but I am eating my food.
I know, but hopefully the others will take some time to explain it to you. So eventually the rest of you get your act together and all manage to congregate at the Silver Wagon, apart from Eric, who's kind of staying outside. And yeah, you know, he's standing outside like a bad advertisement for the place. You know, kind of just glaring at people and intimidating them as they try to come in.
He's probably checking out everybody's great swords.
Well, should we take this outside then?
Oh, there's other connotations over in Britain.
Why are we going outside?
Because Eric just refuses to come inside.
Oh, well, I'm just enjoying my breakfast.
We all need to hear this if we're going to go somewhere.
Where are we going?
Tolly reaches for his cap and says, "Am I coming as well now? Or are we going to take a while?"
There's not any carpets in the cave, is there?
No.
It's
Okay, then
a
I can go.
cave. Caves don't have carpets.
Okay, I'll go then.
Might be a mossy carpet.
Oh, well, then I don't want to go then.
Is anybody
She always like this.
So those nasty moss monsters.
Yes.
I see.
Stay.
And
Well, I'll
Lady-
go, there's no carpet.
Lady Sasadia Rents reckoned you lot was the most suitable to deal with this problem, did she? He kind of frowns a little.
Do you see anybody else with weapons and a big
I don't-
one?
I don't have any weapons. Una does. But I'll wait and get Una when we get there.
Raph,
Hmm?
when do I get close to my melancholy?
Not for a while just yet. Oh wait, sorry, that's Eric. Let's see, that's Gregor, Eric, Renacia. Yeah, not yet, but it's kind of coming on.
I'll get my change for breakfast and head to follow.
You receive your change. It doesn't taste like a very appetizing breakfast. Coins don't generally feed you that way.
No, I paid the guy a gold. I wanted 7 silver change. I paid it
Yeah, you
for a
got your
$2
change.
meal and tipped him a silver.
Well, are we all heading off?
Adina Galagos wonders who you paid because that man doesn't work here, but but that's okay. Right. Are you all finally ready to get in Tolly's boat? Because I have a teleport link here that's been kind of
I'll
ready for you guys.
tuck the doll down in the front of my armor so that it doesn't get wet.
Well,
Damn. Okay. I guess we're heading out.
Yeah.
Do we need to stop by the church? I know I should stop by the church and check on her and other people, but
Hi, Greg.
You might want to.
yeah, hello.
Are you?
How are you?
I'm good. Are you gonna get Catherine out? Because Una wants to play.
Maybe later.
Okay, then I'll wait too.
But I thank you. Yeah, I think I am going to pop over to the church. And, yeah, they're both creepy, and I don't, I will stop by the market.
Oi. Hang on. The lady said something. As she does, she hears her dog's voice murmuring in her head, "I ain't half as creepy as you think, love."
I can imagine. The fur.
The dog just looks up at you and does this complete puppy face, and you see the kind of tentacles flopping and salivating inside its mouth. And you haven't taken the teleport link yet.
Glenn had something he wanted to do.
Raph, I will stop by the market,
Okay.
pick up order a bunch of food to be taken to the church.
That's nice.
I'll spend probably, I'll just say 10 gold on food stuff, flour,
Mm-hmm.
sugar, that type of stuff, so they can have meals there. Because I don't know what's in the church's coffers or, their pantry.
That sounds very reasonable. There's quite a lot of them. Let's call it about 12 gold, which you can probably afford. As you're leaving the market, you happen to notice a pawnbroker's shop just off the side of the marketplace. It's got the usual assortment of bric-a-brac, some things more useful than others. Even a few old weapons in there. And a ridiculously huge two-handed sword that looks vaguely familiar for some reason.
Eric?
Eric's not there.
I know he's not there.
Excuse me, sir, how much is it for that two-handed sword?
Gosh darn it.
Man looks at it and says, "Oh, that?
Yes.
Oh, you don't want that. Belonged to a very dangerous man, that did. He was a murderer."
Oh, even more so. That's...
Well,
I
I think that would make a very good souvenir. How much for it?
Well, have you got the ticket?
Ticket? Please tell me, what is this ticket that I must possess?
Well, ticket ain't expired yet. When the fella pawned it, he got the ticket, see, and he could come back and redeem it if he was happy to pay for it again. And he's still got a few days to reclaim it before it goes on sale. If you don't have the ticket, I can't give you the sword.
How many more days left of the waiting on this ticket?
A few days. Do you remember who it was that had this ticket?
Yeah, he was here just a while ago buying a fish. Walked right past my place, didn't even notice. Didn't give me half a glance.
Was he rather... What was he like? Was he large, small?
Yeah, giant of a man. You'd know him if you saw him.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah.
We have to find Eric.
Yeah. Just how many days was that? Huge, bit vague.
About half a week, 3 or 4.
Okay. And how much money you have to pay to reclaim the sword?
Oh, that's a very good question.
It's probably cursed if it's from a murder.
When did this become all three of them going there?
I don't know!
Market.
This is very interesting. One person went to market, 2 more suddenly appeared.
Apparently I'm still welcome to the inn.
Yeah, I noticed you paying attention when I said eventually you apparently all managed to turn up there, and you just didn't respond at all.
Yeah,
I'm on the boat.
Well, everyone was
Glenn
talking,
tried to take
so-
care of the stuff.
I'm going to rush off and try to look for Eric. On the way.
Eric will be...
To miss, right?
Hang on.
I was going to ask something there. Are we together or are we not together? I know Eric's away separate, but the rest of us, are we together or not?
No. Gregor went to the market. Apparently Renacia went to market as well. Most of the rest of you were getting in Tolly's boat so he could row you away to the cave of the witch.
That's I thought we were together apart from Eric. My mistake.
And Virgil seems to be completely lost, trying to work out how to travel about half a mile.
Yes, apparently
In his own
We
hometown.
probably just made it there and eating breakfast. And I'm like, where is everybody? I just took a stroll on town.
Dina Galagos, the landlady, rolls her eyes and says, "Oh, not you now. Look, you know old Tolly, right? The fisherman? And you know what? He does sound vaguely familiar.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
Sleepless Detective Agency asked you to help him. Something about lights in a cave where the old witch used to live."
I see, interesting.
Yeah, well look, most of your friends have gone off to get in his boat right now, so you might want to wolf that down a bit and get on with it, so you don't get left behind. And she gives you that kind of warm, friendly chuckle and that kind of encouraging nod towards the door.
Okay,
Left behind again.
Maybe spare a few bites for your peacock. So, those of you who haven't taken the teleport link might actually want to take it now. All three of you.
This could be the only. Well, we've got a couple of days, so I'll leave him to it.
Oh man, if only. Hey.
So when do y'all tell me that y'all found my sword?
when we come back and find you, eventually.
Well, I was at the boat. I went with the first group to go
I know.
to the tavern after I ate my fish.
Mm-hmm.
Were you at the boat?
Yep. I went and got a woke up, went and got a fish, ate the fish, and went to the tavern waiting on whoever came out. So I'm guessing I went with the
That's okay.
first group that came out.
Locations right now. I'll let you know on the way. Well, actually, as we walk up to the cave, will be a good time to let you know.
So you say, we found your sword at
Yeah, Eric, we found your sword.
Look across.
where?
Apparently, you pawned it off at the pawn shop, so only you can get it.
Turn around and start heading back towards the boat.
Wait. Not so fast. We only just got here.
I gotta go get something.
You are
I need
not
it.
getting that sword now.
Why? You don't remember pawning it, so you probably didn't pawn it. It's probably not your sword. I mean, you wouldn't pay for your meal. You
I
don't
think-
remember this.
I think I think the person who recognizes people is more
Nah, the
trustworthy
woman
than the one who has
recognized-
amnesia.
The one, yeah, well, he refused to pay something that he made a debt to. He refused to pay that. I'd rather him not try to go to the sword because you don't remember that. He might try to kill the guy to get the damn thing because he doesn't remember it.
Well, if this guy has stolen my sword, I'm gonna have to get
See?
it back from him.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Do you have your ticket? You have a ticket. He gave you a ticket. Search around.
I hear the talk to say, ticket?
I will check my clothes and my pack to see if I have a ticket on me.
You do not have a pawn ticket on you.
Oh, for
See? No ticket. That means that the guy stole it from me.
You are not to kill anyone. Do you understand me? Especially in that town.
Whatever that ticket is, if you haven't got it,
Roll a diplomacy with me.
No, you don't need to use social skills on other player characters.
yeah.
I'm requesting it to see how convincing she is to in her
Okay.
I point out to him.
I wouldn't normally allow this, but since you asked so nicely.
Yeah. I point out that since I have no idea what this ticket is, but if it's something to do with the ticket and you haven't got the ticket, it might not be your sword. It must be somebody else's.
I don't know. I mean, someone who says it's the sword of a murderer is a pretty good indication. Seeing as this guy, the first thought that jumps into his head is kill him for stealing a sword.
I look at Eric and step away and say, murderer?
Yeah, I can't control my character.
And I look at Eric and thinking, she said murderer?
I always felt that I might have been an executioner before I went over there.
A lawful executioner or a paid-for executioner?
No, it depends. Did it get paid by the law to execute someone?
I talk about gangs and nefarious individuals.
That's a lot of percentile dice rolls. If we were playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, this would have been a very interesting session.
Yeah.
Or Call of Cthulhu or so. Oh wait, we're practically playing Call of Cthulhu already, just the Pathfinder version.
Is it Dark Heresy?
Oh god, no, that would be a very different game indeed.
Oh.
Alright, you've convinced me not to go talk to him right now. We'll wait until we get done here.
Thank you.
I keep my distance away from Eric when now she's mentioned murderous sword. You know. Yes, keep us well away from him. He's dangerous.
What is this until here?
Well, if he's a threat to you, why don't you just blast him? Blast everything else as a threat.
Shut up! You're just gonna annoy the pie.
I think at this point we know who is more of a threat.
Well, I don't remember any of y'all doing anything to deserve.
Just one moment, guys. I'm just dealing with a little something here.
Okay.
While you squabble, Tolly is assessing the weather and deciding if it's... Oh my god, no! He's starting to summon the thing before getting on the boat and rowing away.
No. We're sitting here at the edge of the island, right?
No, you're currently still in town preparing to get on the boat. I'm just checking with something important before you leave town.
God bless. I
I
thought
thought
we were
it was-
at the island already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shit.
that's the impression I had that we.
No, not just yet.
Because I see the Phantom moving around, and I was going to call forth Una.
Easy, easy, easy.
Actually, is the Phantom out? Because that's probably bad.
No, I don't think he plans on calling it out.
In that case, since everyone wants to be here, I will say that Tolly rows you along the river quite a bit and drops you off on this small, really small portion of beach in front of a overhung cave entrance with lots of vines and weeds just hanging down over the entrance, and it looks very dark in there.
I whispered to on the journey across on the boat to the other female, the Azure, the lady who went to the pawn shop. What did this murderer look like? As I glanced my eyes to Eric, as in trying to get a suspect. Is he the actual guy, or is he a different guy totally?
Tolly rows a respectful distance from the entrance and waits for your signal to come pick you all up when you're done here. As I said, lots of plants hanging down over the entrance here, almost like a curtain.
I asked Tolly, is this where you saw the lights?
He nods. Well, he kind of... I presume you asked him before he rows the boat away, but yes, this is where he saw the lights late at night.
Let's see, well, it's out now.
Well, it's daytime now.
It's very dark in there. There is
Mm.
absolutely no candlelight.
None that you can see at the moment.
Oh, this is such a bad idea. Walking into another dark place.
So, anyone got a torch?
Good question. Anybody have a torch? Do we need to make a torch?
Just checking if I got Kit with me.
No, I don't have a torch.
Sorcerer's kits, need to check sorcerer's kit. Oh, yes.
Almost all the
Yeah.
kids have torches.
Yeah, I have a torch and it's in the box. 50
That's alright. Are you intending to light said torch? And if so, who's planning on bearing it?
If she wants to carry the torch, because I don't need it, I'll pass her the torch and I'll light it for her.
I'll carry it. I don't use weapons.
Okay, I pass her the torch and I sort of take the tinderbox out, and after a couple of goes, a spark appears and I light the torch.
Raph, I'm curious.
Hold on.
The torch is 9 now.
In my inventory, I've got catskin boots. I don't think I have any, well, special boots on.
You want to put them on?
Yes.
Then put them on.
I want to know if
What they do?
yeah.
We probably already figured it out if we have catskin boots. But let me go look it up. Catskin leather. That's not right.
Or we didn't figure out what it does.
Oh shit, got no treasure at all. Well, I got 101 gold.
I don't know what they are. Catskin leather is armor, so that's not it. Boots of the cat, it's not. That doesn't. That probably looks right, but doesn't sound. It's not named that.
Let's wait until
Raph gets back.
That's okay, I'm back. I'm listening to what people are currently doing.
Do we have anything in the party treasure at all?
I believe Gregor was handling most of the party treasury at one point, but I could be mistaken.
I mean, I have gold, but they're like 100 gold, but I haven't got anything else. I wasn't sure if there's any like daggers or crossbows, if that's in the treasure list.
Daggers, no. We have a mace, and we have a straight razor.
It's just nothing much, just a few items of.
They're both magical. They're both magical.
Actually, I've got some stuff as well, which, for example, the boots. I've got a silver dagger, +1 on it.
Gregor,
Yes.
can I have the straight razor? It's really lightweight. I promise I won't cut myself.
I'd rather not pull it out just yet. Somebody has issues with it.
Oh, okay.
We also have bracers of armor for those that don't wear armor.
I don't wear armor.
What plus is it? More than +3 or better?
I think.
Yep. It's only a +2.
Yeah, I don't wear armor. Wait, yeah, I do. I have leather armor.
The peacock looks at you as if to say, "What is this +2 of which you speak?"
Sorry, it's magically enhanced to second tier. We also have a ring of protection at the first tier of magic.
Oh, that'd be nice, please.
That'll be useful.
I've got AC 15, but I'm not sure about any others.
All pretty much sitting at low ACs.
That was 16.
I don't know what an AC is, but I know I wear leather and I'm not very agile.
I've got written here. I've got a shield and sword necklace. What the heck is that?
A necklace with a motif of a shield and sword on it, I believe.
Probably. Nothing else.
The cave entrance seems to regard you ominously as you stand outside it, having this conversation that anyone inside could probably hear if they weren't too far away from the entrance.
I will draw my scythe and Stare at them impatiently.
Stare at the darkness impatiently.
No, at y'all.
Go stare at the darkness impatiently.
I cast a spell.
Again, can I get some help? Okay,
Floofer nuzzles into your side and you hear his voice smarmily inquiring as to what kind of help do you need, mistress? I thought you were perfect.
God damn it. Out of character.
Well, not standing in the river would probably help for starters.
Yeah. Is that your spellcaster, please?
That has nothing to do with the boots I have. I was really hoping that the catskin boots had something to it.
Do you know where you got them from? Because that would help.
I'm pretty sure it was in the asylum, in one of the rooms.
I'm pretty sure it was as well. Oh, wait! Was it that pair of boots that we used to beat someone to death with? and were made by a really, by a renowned bootmaker, a famous cobbler. Because if so, I know exactly which boots they are. And they're the only ones I can think of that you might be referring to.
I think so. I think that was the only mention of boots.
Yeah, so the the big city with all the universities in... Damn it, I'm even forgetting the name of the country at the moment. But it's very well known, and it's a very... you wouldn't call it a cobbler, but this is a proper quality shoemaker, and the maker's mark bears great prestige. Probably highly valuable boots. Also, one of them was used to beat 2 people to death with recently.
Wonderful. Also,
And is still in wearable condition afterwards. So, they're a well-made pair of boots.
and also tools of murder, apparently.
Well, it was in self-defense at the time, but yeah.
Do they have any special attributes to them?
Yes. They are very, very valuable.
Alright, so we're selling them. Okay, moving on then. Getting out of the water. What the hell am I doing in the water?
I don't know. But
Who is that?
Floofer mocks you for it.
Shut up.
Sorry, who is Azure? I thought it was the PCs. I got it wrong, have I?
Azure is a player character, yes.
I'm playing Azure.
Okay,
Azure Andusana.
okay, fine.
So, you're all still standing outside this cave waiting for one of you to go in.
Well, I'm not taking the first step in, just so you know.
Hey,
Well-
Eric, why don't you go in?
Keep that light behind me and I'll go forward.
Yep. I go and I poke his armband, and I go and light it.
Hold it.
There are already 2 other light sources running as well.
His-
Something, Eric,
Mhm.
you go to enter the cavern, and you kind of brush through the tangled mass of vines and mossy things hanging down over the cave entrance. And you kind of get stuck in them. You struggle for a bit, and they kind of wrap around your chest and shoulders and neck and throat for a bit, and then you pass through. However, they're still moving.
Someone like to take a torch.
The local plant life is rolling initiative. The rest of you may wish to do the same.
Nah.
I was going to ask if I could do a knowledge nature check.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowledge nature check would be a good idea. That plant just tried to kill you.
Oh no!
Eric has no idea what tried to kill him, but he knows that it felt wrong.
other
What just
side of the
happened?
plant, or am I still in it?
You've managed to break through to there. Up ahead here, there is, I didn't VBL this, there is a wooden palisade of, a very crudely made wooden palisade of logs, you know, sharpened logs, lashed together with vines and stuff. It looks pretty heavy, but it's blocking off that portion of the cave. And then there's a kind of cavern entrance off to the left there.
Wonderful. What the hell was that? What an
Oh! Hey! Yeah, fun!
Fun. Mandatory fun.
So, as Eric tugs free of the vines, he triggers a tripwire and falls forwards, and a great scything blade comes across to meet him. Just like, you know, whoomph out of the side there, just completely rigged up.
Oh. God.
He gets to take a whole 2 points of damage
Wow.
and a fortitude save. I just want to let you all know that the trap description reads multiple targets. All targets in each of the 2 indicated squares.
Yeah,
None of the squares on the map are indicated!
and then I need to do a fort save. Alright, fort
Yeah.
save.
And I need to go look up a poison that isn't in the core rulebook, which is going to be fun, isn't it?
Okay. I think.
22. What the heck just happened? Why do I have a crap ton of damage on me? I only did 1.
Yeah, the rest was from the plant.
Did you minus 1 for the damage reduction?
I did. That is a good save, but I still have no idea what this bloody poison is, because it is not. Well, you've passed your first save, probably with that roll. I have no idea what this poison is, because there's literally no information here about it at all.
You want me to look it up, Raph, or you continue on running?
Sure. Sure.
Raph, do I? Very probably too late now. It's like that one moment when you detect the trap after it's been set off. Do I see it?
You definitely see it now, yeah.
I see the trap.
Yeah. You know, like in Skyrim, those Forsworn traps with the great big, like, claw things with the scything blades that would come out of the walls? It was kind of basically something like that, but a lot smaller.
Does it re-trigger, or is it just triggered once?
It's just swung across for once and hit him. He's kind of, you know, he put a lot of weight on the tripwire, and this thing isn't exactly got an automatic reset built into it. You know, someone would have to come and crank it back up against the wall and set it all up.
Oh, okay, we're safe.
However,
What about the vines that
oh, the vines that are attacking people. Yeah, good point. Let's go to the initiative window.
Sort initiative first.
Yep. Lady Catherine.
I rolled a knowledge nature check 15.
You did. Yeah. This is a plant that likes to strangle people and kill them. I can let you know one useful, interesting piece of information about this plant that likes to strangle people and kill them. What would you like to know?
Is fire effective?
It's a plant. Actually,
There you go.
actually, it's a plant that is highly resistant to fire. Yeah. It's highly resistant to cold and fire, and even immune to electricity.
What kind of
The kind that tried to wrap itself round his throat. And it's...
I suppose it's down to hacking now.
Yeah, and it's Lady Catherine's turn.
Don't fight it.
Welcome to the world of assassin vines in Pathfinder. Yeah.
Oh.
Is she physical or ghostly at the moment?
Physical.
Okay, just checking.
I brought her in physical.
Alright.
Trying to figure out how.
I think we can kind of count the entire curtain of vines and branches and roots and stuff as the assassin vine, rather than it just being one of them. You know.
She's gonna hold her action until I move out of the way, and then she'll step up in front to attack it.
Okay. Lila, do your actions involve the words "I blast" by any chance?
No, it does, but it comes last. I move, then blast.
Okay, are you moving those 2 squares away?
Yes, because it's got to go before it.
Yeah, but it acted in the surprise round, so it will absolutely go for you as you back away.
If I use that, I wouldn't go that far.
Alright.
I haven't got a weapon, so make it attack of opportunity because I don't know it's got reach.
Sure, I will make the attack of opportunity. Ooh, almost got you.
Almost.
Look at that damage, isn't that a beaut, eh?
More than I do. Yeah, well, no, sometimes. Anyway, so now I got point blank shot. Yes. I got precise shot till firing into melee. So attack 1, bonus 2 for damage. I'm selected. I've got a silver dagger. My armor class is rubbish. I've only got a silver dagger. It's got no equipment at all. So I had no treasure. But never mind. Well, apart from gold, which is treasure enough. Do I hit? Yes, I do. 60. And it's physical damage, so any DR does apply, but it's magical I'm shooting you with. Yeah. This is where we find out if we have physical DR or not.
Hmm.
That's where's Burnett?
Easy way to find out.
Yeah, I just blast it. That's what we to find out.
What kind of blast was that?
Magical, we find out it's magical bludgeoning, isn't it? Because you pointed out to us all bludgeoning.
Alright. You crush it with gravity. And then it decides to go for eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what? It's going to go for Reynasia because it can, and she's right there.
Not me. Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of right there, and it's like an angry, hungry plant thing that wants to throttle the life out of her. Oh!
That would hit me easy enough.
I'll handle that damage. Okay. And then it will try to grab and constrict and do all the nasty things it can as a great big nasty plant. Because it's like that. Yeah, enjoy having the grappled condition. Fortunately, I believe it gets the grappled condition too.
It does. Yeah, the creature gets the grappled condition too. But it gets its constriction.
Yeah, it does. That's really horrible. That's another straight damage roll, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, fun. Well, we'll just do that then. Another 12 points of damage as it just constricts and crushes and you're just feeling it choking you.
It's a byproduct of successfully grappling.
It's horrible, isn't it, at this level?
At this level, yes. At later levels, depending on the creature, it's wonderful. Whether you're a player or a GM, respectively.
No, that didn't sound good at all.
No, it sounded quite painful, didn't it? Virgil, it's your turn. Where are you, Virgil? Are you standing in the river? I'm not seeing
No,
you.
he's
Oh,
underneath the
right.
crater.
Okay, I see you now. You're backing away at first. Sorry, I just have this really big cheesy grin on my face at the moment that's hard for me to wipe off. Wow, that thing just completely got the drop on you guys. Eesh. You might want to finish it off before it finishes off one of you.
Yeah, but putting intelligence not to grapple somebody, because that puts at a weakness.
I don't know, I mean, it's kind of what it does, you know?
I know exactly what it's doing. Exactly what it's done. It's done it before, obviously, in previous victims, but yeah, it's acting sort of from repetition as opposed to thinking about things.
Hi, can I talk? I was muted before, but hey.
You apparently were, yes.
Do I see how damaged Renacia Politis is?
Very would be the best way to describe
Yes,
it.
I'm going to go and burn one of my prepared spells for today.
Uh-huh.
Cure moderate wounds.
Sounds like a good idea.
There's big ones out already. Yeah, gargle coming out.
Legit, I basically have most of my spells are just cure spells. Because I use hexes to go and do all the other shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Oh, you're a witch, are you? I've forgotten.
Yes.
Oh, I have 7 points of healing
yes,
there.
That
I don't even
kind of
see you.
He's under the peacock. And there's like 4 tokens in that space at the moment or something.
There are 3 tokens in that space.
Yeah.
In here, and I will move
That's
so
okay.
the dog can be moved if they need to move the dog.
Here we go.
Alright.
Is the peacock going to do anything brave or suicidal? Or not, as the case may be.
They're a problem in Austria at the moment. They're counted as a vermin in some parts.
Let's see, it has a reach of 5 feet, so it's gonna go over to where the dog is, covering up the dog. Go, "Caw!"
Okay,
Try to give it leprosy.
we have our sacrificial peacock. And
He's going to try to go.
Gregor! The plant life is trying to murder some of your adventuring companions, and doing it rather successfully, although it has been attacked by a leprous peacock for 1 whole point of damage. Is this where you want to start? Is this where you want to start looking at the brawler familiar archetype for that peacock? The peacock's like, I've got leprosy, bro. I just don't care.
It's non-lethal. It's non-lethal. By the way.
Oh, okay. Do
Because
plants take
it rolls
non-lethal?
for base damage, and it has -2 strength, so it's actually a 0,
Alright.
but it
Are
it's 1.
plants immune to non-lethal? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Oh well.
Let me look.
Yeah, can 7s go.
I don't think they're immune to non-lethal.
No, it's Glenn's go, not Evan's go.
Then,
Yeah,
They are not immune to non-lethal. They are
awesome. It will take 1 point of non-lethal damage.
Yes.
I would take a 5-foot drawing my sword,
Mm-hmm.
Red Destiny.
Yep.
I would try to hit with Red Destiny.
Good call. Oh, you hit with Red Destiny! That is the most damage you have done with that sword ever! You feel really satisfied. You get that satisfying wrench as the sword cuts into it, and and just rakes across the surface of the thing, almost severing it.
And Lady Catherine will step up and she will attack.
Can someone get me out of this?
Go for it. She might even finish it off at this rate. Oh wow. Lady Catherine
Hit
pummels the
once,
thing.
And I think it is immune to mind affecting.
It is, but it's also now releasing its grip on Renacia.
Ironically, when it drops prone, her second attack hits it.
Yep. Let me just... There we go. Let me just deal the second damage to it. Yeah, well, it's not going to be recovering to fight anytime soon. I can take you all out of initiative at this point.
And now I have a chance to react. Oh.
Thanks.
Okay. Get Una out. She can be my shield.
Oh, that was great. Ah. Oh.
Well, that gives a whole new meaning to plant lovers.
It does, doesn't it?
Just so you know, we're not lovers. You
Oh.
can't imagine it.
Oh, one moment.
I dust myself off and walk toward y'all, and the cut mark across my chest looks like it's healing a little bit.
When Ulna manifests, she walks up next to Lady Catherine and pats her on the shoulder. Good to see you again.
I will use...
Ugh, let's just go forward.
part of the field and then use it again.
Really? Well, looking forwards into the dark cavern entrance as the torch sputters and casts light, you can see the wooden palisade here, and drag marks where it's been kind of dragged open and shut, and a side cavern off there to the left.
Do I see any more traps?
That's a very good question. Well, you can find the one trap that's already triggered.
That's fine. I want to know if we'll trigger any more traps while we're walking up.
You
Greg.
do not see any more tracks, but you do see tracks heading in and out of the cavern.
Oh ho ho!
Human and some kind of quadrupedal creature.
Oh ho ho! It looks like someone was here. With
Multiple
friends.
quadrupedal creatures, large.
With friends.
Yeah, and some kind of three-legged creature, and we're not talking like a three-legged goat or something. We're talking like some kind of tripod leg arrangement, weird thing. And it takes you a while to realize it's a thing with 3 feet.
With all the tracks? Yeah. Well, hell, it looks like someone was here. And I say this aloud. With friends. Not the human kind either.
Sorry, just Windows being awkward there for a moment.
What?
Don't worry. Just computer being a bit awkward.
So no one's going to react to that.
Apparently not. It's very disturbing.
I'm not reacting to it because I'm trying to ask Gregor a question. And
Well, hell, I guess we'll go forward then, regardless.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll cast Mage Armor on Lady Catherine and Mage Armor on my Eidolon.
That's alright. Scott, you got the wooden palisade here. It doesn't completely block line of sight. You can kind of see through the gaps into the cavern beyond. And then you got this side cave here that you can't really... It's kind of dark and smells of wet, like kind of smells a bit like compost. There's a few animal bones lying around in there.
Do I see anything else in the cave besides the smell?
Let me just take a moment as you adjust your senses of smell. Yeah, something bites you. I'm going to make this one secret. Okay. So, here's the weird one, right? I'd like everyone to bear in mind the current positioning. Yeah?
Okay.
So Eric, Renacia and Lila, you all get to see this crazy thing rear up. It looks incorporeal and ghostly and bites Eric and then goes invisible again immediately afterwards. Or maybe it wasn't even there.
I immediately say out loud, "Oh, for God's sakes!" not
And
that."
I'm going to find a button.
I've been meaning to ask it, but you've been counting my damage reduction, right?
I did, yes.
Okay.
That is you, and you get to see this image. I'll just check that's the correct image. You should all be able to see that. And it's gone again.
Oh, it looks like we're about
Although everyone can now roll initiative, yes.
means I have to go do something real quick.
Even if people who haven't walked up to, even people who haven't walked up to the cave could hear me say, "Oh, for goodness sakes, not another plant!"
Ah,
I just want to clarify the reason.
Uno
The
says,
reason.
"It's okay, don't worry about it. I'm here with her."
Not glad
Alright,
to hear that. First it's gold, now it's plants. What else?
Alright, to clarify, the reason I added fatigue to my character is because I used the combat vigor, and for the next minute I'm supposed to be fatigued.
good point. Yes, you should be. Combat vigor's fun though, isn't it? In many ways.
I forget it worked with the barbarian.
If only you had someone in the party who could remove fatigue with, like, Paladin Mercy or something, you know.
My variant for barbarian makes it where I do not have to worry about my rage power.
Oh,
rage.
yeah, of course, because you have the cold rage, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I lose the ability to rage for 1 minute, not the ability not to rage because of fatigue.
Okay, well, we're still waiting on everyone rolling initiative at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evan, I'm not sure how often you've used this particular monster when you're GMing, but,
By the way, the dog is still back there if you want to try to get the dog.
Good point. I'll drag that up with her, because it's normally in the same space.
I've used it in a few encounters. I had to come off a show as a player to look.
Uh-huh. I didn't bother clearing the writing from around the edge of the picture for this one because there was an insane amount of it and I was in a bit of a rush to get the token done.
And for us, pictures are more important than the actual writing anyway, so...
Hmm.
We saw the word fungus and...
That is a freaky picture though, isn't it, to be honest?
Yes, it is a bit, yeah.
It's about 4.5, 5 feet tall, maybe more. It's about the size of a person with its 3 legs. Even though the picture makes it look like it's kind of ogre-sized or something, you know.
Hey, I'm third in initiative, and this is done.
We ready to sort? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like everyone's there, I think. Okay. Would Lady Catherine like to do anything?
I guess you will move up to there just to see, what's going on.
She sees people reacting as if someone just got bit.
Okay, let's see. Hang on, let's see. She can move up to there. Just to keep an eye on things and...
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I'm happy I have a hooded lantern.
There you go.
And
If you
that
wanna,
is-
Thanks.
no
That
problem.
is her.
Mm-hmm. Renacia, whatever it was, it seems to have gone away again. Or disappeared. Maybe you'd like to make a knowledge skill check? It looked like some kind of plant.
That's also got the discolored background taken out of it too.
Yeah, that actually makes it bad as a player handout to not have a background. But, okay.
Well, there was another version, but yeah.
It still smells like compost, by the way.
Oh, it's their version of an hot dog.
Kind of.
Those things are nasty.
She muted?
No, she had to step away for a bit.
Okay.
So, I'll just put her on hold for now, and we'll go to Lila.
I'm ready in action. Should things go up again, I'm gonna blast it. I'm on hold, in other words, so I'll do that. Cover hold.
Would anyone like to help me assemble the Lila Flowchart? Option number 1, question number 1, can I blast? If yes, I blast. If no, what is the second option? What's the alternative option? I still haven't worked it out.
I crawl in a corner and use another person as bait.
I see.
No, I gather power, step 5 foot, and use a kinetic blade. In the 5th level, I can't use it like gathering power, so... I mean, I can now, but I have to take non-lethal damage to do so.
I see.
Or proficiency with an actual weapon.
I got proficiency with a dagger. I'm useless with it, and plus,
Okay.
yeah.
He asked for a question and I gave an answer. So
Yeah, I got an answer too.
You certainly did.
I mean, I have no magical weapons except for kinetic blades, which cost me damage to use it.
is that all for Lila?
Yeah, I'm ready in action. I put in hold. If you look in the thing, you see I put in hold.
I see. I was
Okay.
saying that more for that.
Right. The mushroom appears. Those who have line of sight to it get to see it in all its horrific glory.
It's got cover points against this.
As it goes to bite Eric again.
Can
And
I
yes, it has cover and firing into combat. Have fun.
no, just cover. Go for sight.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I got point blank and precise.
It's okay.
It's very going to concentrate in blasting. You might as well make it blast. You know, that's stupid. AC 16 was cover.
Unfortunately, while it appears when it attacks, it only appears for a few seconds and in a kind of ghostly incorporeal form that looks see-through and false. However, so I'm not sure. In which case, creature only has concealment instead of invisibility, so a 20% miss chance roll, please. And you have miss roll 13. Ah. So the blast could have gone through it quite dangerously, but for some reason you just didn't quite get it on target.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was corporeal because I do half damage against that because it's a magic weapon. But
And it goes munch on Eric.
yeah.
It does go munch on Eric. And then it becomes invisible again.
Hang on a second. Do you have anything against incorporeal creatures? Sorry, I'm trying to, okay, yeah, okay, fine. Dim Dweller. That's what I could check up.
Uh-huh.
But it's too late for the last round, but it's the next round. No, I'm looking at it. D20.
Azure, it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't even seen it yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're way out there. Right.
And I'm going to. Well, can't use that one for it. So how about this? I'm going to draw a card from my deck
Uh-huh.
so that I can. Well, I have to see what the suit is. So you want the one that's a stacked set. I'm not summoning. I'm using my Herod trait.
Where are we? Tables.
Or not my Herod trait, my Herod feat.
That one, right?
Nah, the other one.
Okay.
Sorry.
That didn't seem to draw. There we go.
Okay, so at any one time for the rest of the day, I may apply a +2 bonus to any D20 roll modified by the card suit. So anything having to do with my Constitution for the rest of the
Like
day, I can
a
add +2.
Fortitude save against poison.
Correct.
Speaking of fortitude saves against poison,
See, I may assign this bonus after I make the roll, but let's do so before I know whether it was a success or not.
that's okay.
Okay, so I'm going to make a footnote for myself that it's con-based, and I'll be done. Oh, that's my standard, and my move is to shuffle it back in.
So speaking of cures against saves against poison, Scott, had he not just popped away, would be glad to know that the poison he was hit with was a 1 save cure, so he doesn't need to make any further saves for it.
Yay!
Although it's
Three different hero effects.
although it's save every minute, not save every combat round, so it could have been kicking in any time soon for its second save if he'd failed the first one. Ah, I almost knocked something over. Alright. Are you done, Evan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
We go to Gregor's turn. Wow, Eric's taking a pounding this session.
He always takes a pounding for us.
Hey, you were in an asylum, not a prison.
All the other games, though, he's died almost every one.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to have party punch back. No matter which game, he seems to have party punch back.
Oh god, yeah, he even died in Ruins of Aslan, didn't he? With that disturbingly charming rogue of his who was just
So
accident.
great.
No, he didn't just die in that game. He just got like hit by everything that needed to attack someone.
Well, it's Glenn's turn. I apologize for interrupting you, Glenn.
Uh-huh. Move up to there.
Okay, just to be clear, are you still holding that sword and feeling proud and empowered?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, as you feel proud and empowered, you see the wooden palisade here has rope handles, like, you know, like D-shaped hinges of rope to grab and to drag it with on this side, as well as on the other side. Also, do you want to make me a perception check, because you're right up there?
I can do that. Perception. Yay!
Cool. You can see like firelight flickering through the gaps in the wooden palisade. It's not dead ahead, it's like over here somewhere. So firelight coming from off to the right, and even shining a little bit through here.
Okay, I'll move up to my 30, and that is...
You do not see what has attacked Eric.
That is it for me for right now.
Okay.
But I think I am moving this out of the way, because that looks like a dead end, and
Oh, so you're getting near to move that thing, right?
I will eventually, yes.
Okay.
Not right now. I have done my full 30 to get to there.
Ulna.
Ulna. She walks up here past the bird, whatnot, puts her hand out in front of Lady Catherine and goes, "Don't worry, my dear, I will protect you." And she goes full defense and protection of Lady Catherine. And I'm
Okay.
sitting there going, huh?
Right. Eric, it's your turn. This thing's bitten you twice now, and each time it bites you, it disappears again.
First off, an unusual calm comes over my character,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm holding my scythe ready to swing when it appears again.
Ah,
It's
okay.
oddly heavier than before.
Right. Awesome.
Big hole.
There is a sound from in the cavern that I'm having difficulty working out how to describe. But it's a really messed up sound. It's like a gurgling, quivering, warbling, freshing, rustling sound. But it sounds really aggressive.
Okay. All I could think of at the moment, I'm sorry it popped into my head, but it was the Gummy Bear song popped into my head.
And something begins to move into sight around the corner there. Remember, this is a thin, flimsy barricade. It doesn't block line of sight that much. I have a handout to show you guys. We can all look at that.
I was wondering when you were going to use this picture.
And now you know how long ago I actually did the tokens for this map.
Yeah, a while back.
And when this map is done with, I'm actually going to have to start making more tokens again. So it's a kind of strange wolf-like creature with mushrooms and plants growing out of it, and it's kind of got gills in its throat, like mushroom gills, and they are the thing that's kind of raw howling instead of it using its actual throat itself. And those things growing out of its back that look like horns are actually roots.
What the?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The actual monster description is less of a wolf with fungal growths and mushrooms on it, and more of a mushroom that's grown in the shape of a wolf. It's kind of snarling. And it's Virgil's turn.
I will be in the bathroom. Be right back.
Wow, we scared the piss out of Evan there. Actually, from that angle, some of you can see the second one further back. I'll just make that one's token handout visible as well, because it is freaky as fuck.
Oh, that's fun.
It's more you look at it and go, how the hell is that supposed to even remotely resemble a wolf?
Alright.
But apparently it does.
Well, apparently I can't reach any of the people I need to go and heal. I really need to go and get, like, Spectral Hand.
That is very unfortunate, isn't it?
I'm gonna go here. Can I see anybody or not really?
You can see the mushroom wolves, and you can see your allies. That's it. Oh, and there seems to be some kind of fire flickering back here. You can see the firelight spreading across the cavern behind the barricade.
Interesting. By the way, question. What's
Yeah?
this?
It is a crude barricade made up of bits of wood that are lashed together with numerous gaps. It has rope handles on either side to drag and reposition it to open it or close it. Now you know.
Okey-dokey. I'm going to go and make a stab that this mushroom wolf is probably a plant.
You don't say.
So instead of trying to go and do the sleep hacks, I'm going to go and give it the evil eye and make it a minus on its attacks. Please make a will save.
Awesome.
And
It passes its
Could
will
I-
save.
could I have seen it from here?
Yes, just about. Would you
And
like to
by
make
the
me
way,
a knowledge nature check, please? Before you do this, I'm feeling a little generous at the moment.
Yes, just I need to go and check one thing with evil eye because I'm pretty sure that that's not a compulsion effect. Or anything that's-
I would check exactly what kind of effect it is if I were you.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking. Do. Say, probably in hex. Let's see. No, they're not mind affecting. So
Oh wow!
should
Does a
check-
21 save?
Yep.
Okay then.
It saved. So
So you
take
can.
-2 for 1 round.
Okay. And the other one comes bounding into position and snarls and mushroom quivers at you all very disturbingly. Yeah, there's 2 of these things there now. Awesome. Wait. Hang on. So a woman steps in sight behind the barricade. She is very ginger, and I believe she has a token handout as well. She appears to be wearing armour made out of wood. And I spent ages removing writing from around this one, so you could all enjoy it. And she murmurs something and strokes the wolf.
What language?
Magic language.
Ah.
Which languages are you familiar with?
I have Common, Elven, Verisian, and Sylvan. The Eidolon is considered to have the same. However, let me check my linguistics. No linguistics.
Oh wow, we don't have this one under spells. What fun.
So yeah, the extent is possibly Sylvan for me, but otherwise no.
Nope. You don't know what she said. But the wolf bares its teeth and snarls. Its lips are pulling back. And those are disturbingly toothy looking teeth for a mushroom. Well, that's her done. It's Lady Catherine's turn.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So is that at the wolf or at the fact that Ulna said she will protect Lady Catherine?
Or is it a knowing me, knowing you? Aha.
She will move
Mm-hmm.
in front of me.
And
And that is it. She will stand there waiting, because so far they have not taken any hostile action. So if they take a hostile action, she will react.
oh, also something very important I should have mentioned. This woman's hand is on fire.
Flame blade. Or produce flame.
There's a massive ball of flame sitting in her hand, the hand that's not holding the spear, and she looks like she's not afraid to do something with it. Should have probably mentioned that when she became visible.
Yeah, that has been. Yeah, she's still waiting because
Okay,
she can't get to him. Well, she can get to him, but right now she's just.
you back, Cass, or are you still away? Okay, that was like 23 minutes ago. Well, give a few seconds, but I suspect she may still be away. In the meantime, Lila.
I quite will wish you no harm wherever it is. I'm assuming something's around. I can't see properly. And I'm ready in action to blast that creature if it comes up with a 20% mischance.
Well, that fire seems to have come a lot closer to the entrance than it was a couple of seconds ago. Here's the disturbing part, right?
Mm-hmm. I can see in colour now.
No. The disturbing part is, did she touch the wolf with the hand that's on fire? Or did she pass her spear over into the burning hand to touch the wolf with the hand that wasn't burning?
I just can't. Yeah, I can't see properly, so I assume somebody around there. So just call it. We come in peace.
Either way, neither the wolf nor the spear have been burned by this flame. It's almost as if she can control it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ready in action to shoot. So I'm going to right click and as it goes to not remove token. Token hold.
Okay, Eric.
Ready in action.
The thing appears, mouth looming out of the air to bite at you. You may take your ready to attack because you've been waiting the longest.
Alright, then my trait ability activates, which allows my
Yep.
weapon to be one size category larger, and
Mhm.
swing.
Go for it. Remember, I will be checking mischance, and oh, nice.
Click that.
You got it. Are you sure you did the correct damage? Did you do variant damage one size larger correctly? 2d6, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's...
Right.
Well, you carve into it, into its fleshy mushroom flesh, and then Lila gets to try and blast it.
I've got covering here already.
Yep.
And mischance listed. One chance mischance.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, I miss it.
No, you don't.
Gravity blast. Oh, AC 11.
Its touch AC is...
No, it's a physical blast.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine, and you blast at it, but it resists it
Yeah.
and becomes invisible again. Isn't that fun?
Well, it is. Try to bite me.
I just missed and hit the wall or something like this.
Oh, yeah, it was gonna... Sorry, I forgot. I'll do its attack.
Yeah, you get turned by the way, Raph. Sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry, I must have been thinking of the Mongoose Lone Wolf role-playing game non-D20 version they did shortly before they dropped the line completely, like the evil never sending me half the books I paid for bastards that Mongoose Publishing are, where if you had low initiative you didn't get a turn if something attacked you before your turn because defending yourself was your turn.
Yeah, I think so.
And it goes munch. And then it goes invisible again.
Misses. Good, because that would have probably knocked me on. Nope, I would have survived that.
Azure, it's your turn. You're way back out here near the entrance.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of gingerly come up to here and
You gingerly step across the mass of tangled vines on the ground, and you see the big bad mushroom wolves behind the barricade.
there's clearly somebody in there. We were sent here to investigate this place. For whatever reason, nobody really told me. They just said we're going to a cave. So we're obviously going into someone's home, and we're assaulting them. So I'm just going to go full defense because that's not the right thing to do for us, at least in my character's opinion. That, and I've got one first level spell left. So.
Alright.
We're killing her pets. I mean, it's not right.
It's kind of antisocial, you know. Breaking and entering, destruction of property. Are these pets, or are these creatures or plants though? It's hard to tell. Would you like to make a knowledge nature check at all, or not?
I don't possess the skill.
Okay, wonderful. Gregor.
I do not have knowledge in nature, but I would like to do a knowledge arcana against that thing she has blowing in her hand.
Awesome. You do make a spellcraft roll instead.
Spellcraft. Oh joy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's this spell called Produce Flame. Quite popular with druids and rangers, where they,
Basically using it for light source.
I don't know, I mean, they conjure flame into their hands and then they can just like throw flames at people or use it as a close combat weapon, and it's just all pretty nasty.
Oh, okay.
Also, when she stroked that wolf, she definitely cast a spell on it.
Okay. And what nationality does she look?
That's a really hard question to ask because they don't tell me, and the fact that she's ginger means she's probably got some Ulfan blood in her. But this is, oh god, what's this country called? I keep forgetting, but Ustalav. Ustalav does have a kind of Ulfan, and something else ethnic Ulfan and Kelid kind of mix or something like that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The two nations border.
Try Scald
Alright.
as a language, and if she doesn't seem to understand that, it will go to Common.
Sure.
We mean you no harm. If the thing that's attacking us is yours, please let us know. We will step away. We just came to investigate the lights.
Okay, and she will respond on her turn if she so desires. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Since I did not take a move action, I will do a move action. And Lady Catherine now goes incorporeal.
Beautiful! Please change her state appropriately.
Uh-huh.
And it's Ulna's turn.
Ulna's. You did it again! Oh! This makes it so much more enjoyable to talk to you. Oh, pardon me. I'm just here to hang out with Lady Catherine. I just like talking to her. She's just so fascinating. Don't mind
Sounds like
me.
a fangirl.
Well, thanks to Mania, she is. I'm not even going to have total defense going. She's just so.
Okay.
You know, so Catherine. I mean, how do you do that? I don't get it.
In the meantime, it's Eric's turn. Is he going to be holding again?
I will hold my scythe up again, getting ready to swing at it if it appears again.
Okay, well it probably will appear again. In the meantime, the wolf snarls and, it tries to howl, but all that comes out is kind of weird mushroom gill quivering. It's like the silent howl of nothingness. Virgil, it's your turn.
He had to step away and he left a message.
Okay, yeah. Peacock will fly onto Eric's shoulder. Move into space next to Lila. And cast Cure Moderate Wounds through Deliver Touch. Oh yeah, sure, that works.
Yeah, so I moved the bird and I moved Virgil for you.
He's not multi-classed, is he? He is...
Nope, he's 3rd level witch.
Okay.
2d8 plus 3.
You can have 8 points of healing there, Eric.
And I'm going to take the bird off the grid so that he can select his own token better.
Sounds like a good idea.
There you go, Scott.
And this other mushroom wolf will also try to howl with its lack of wolf howly bits. And the woman steps up to the other side of the barricade and caresses the other wolf fondly. Plant, mushroom thingy, whatever it is. And she grins at Gregor.
Alright, so
And
there
does a
you go,
kind of
Scott. What
feral
did you do?
snarl.
You heal 8 hit points, Scott.
Yep.
Okay, what were you saying, Raph?
She grins at Gregor and she snarls, but she doesn't say anything. You can see that she's reaching out for the rope handles on her side of the barricade to open it.
Alright, I'm back.
We saw your note and you have acted as you said you would.
Alright, cool.
Anyone want to make me a spellcraft check as she just touched up the other mushroom wolf?
Yes, I can.
Sure.
Come
Give
here.
it a try.
No, really.
So Gregor, Virgil and Azure. Apparently there's this spell called Magic Fang. I'm sure you're all very familiar with it. She's cast it on both the mushroom wolves now.
Fuck.
Oh well, that tells me she means the fight.
And, the fact that she snarled like an animal as she looked at you in a very nasty manner might have also given you that kind of message. And it's Lady Catherine's turn, who is currently incorporeal. This is going to be fun.
Lady Catherine will hold her action until after I cast the spell.
Oh, okay.
And then
Well-
she will deliver said touch spell.
We'll put her on hold.
I think that's the way it works, correct?
Yep, we'll just check to see if Cass is back. You never know, it could happen.
Cass not feeling well still.
She had to step away. I think it might have been a family issue or something.
Okay.
And she's been gone for about half an hour now, so it might be one of those ones which gets called away by phone and doesn't come back
Do you want
at
to
all.
have her fall back then? For a couple of rounds?
Yeah, have her move back to here, because those are some freaky ass mushroom things.
Yeah.
Lila.
I draw a dagger and I hold action to shoot the mushroom over this side. Should it come up again? It's a ready action.
Hey! It comes up again, but Eric's been waiting longest, so he'll get to go for it first. Eric, that mushroom is looming out of the darkness again at you. It's a bad mushroom. Props to anyone who got the blatant Diablo 1 reference there. And Eric tries to whack it with his scythe and doesn't get it this time. Go, Lila.
There's a bird in my face.
Yeah, I know, it's sitting on your shoulder. It's very it's distracting.
me see, where are we? Point blank shots. There you are. +2 hit. +2 damage. Mission single.
I'm tempted to give it concealment because of the peacock's tail, but I'm going to presume the tail is down at the moment rather than fanned up.
Wait,
It is not fanned up.
give me concealment anyway. Yeah, I got an attack coming in.
I know, you just take the worst of and you blast it.
Yeah, for 16 damage apparently. Magical bludgeoning, by the way, but it matters.
Its body apparently doesn't react when I click the damage button, so I do it again. So it shakes and trembles and tries to bite him anyway. Although it is very badly blasted. And it goes chomp on Eric. And does not chomp him. And it becomes invisible again.
Does Lady Catherine see it in her corporeal form?
Oh, wait. She sees it appear then disappear again. It doesn't seem to be incorporeal in any way. She doesn't see it on an ethereal plane or anything.
Oh.
Would you like her to do something as this thing? Oh no, you were waiting to cast a spell, so that's okay.
Yes.
Alright, well, it's Azur's turn now. The two mushroom wolves are kind of frothing at the mouth and salivating out sap. It's just kind of frothing and oozing and bubbling in their jaws. It looks quite disturbing. You know, I really thought this woman would have an archetype, and she doesn't have it. Despite what she's doing here.
Really?
Yeah. Weird, huh?
I'm guessing a druid archetype.
Apparently, I wasn't heard, so I apologize for that.
You weren't.
Looking forward to Ulna, I say, you be sure to protect Lady Catherine. Hold that door closed. In the meanwhile, you're being too hostile, Day's monster.
How? Hang on a minute. Something weird's going on. And I'm having, I now need Bestiary 4 open as well. Fun.
It's going to be a will save versus enchantment, charm, compulsion, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I can affect up to any hit die with it. Well, excuse me, 6 hit die or less. Will negates. And it'll be a DC of 14.
Who's this at?
That would be the woman who's being too hostile.
Okay. I heard will save. Ooh, that's impressive. You're not a fairy or a plant, are you?
Is she a humanoid creature of 4 hit die or less? However, it is Day's monster specifically, so it works on any one living creature of 6 hit die or less. Excuse me.
Oh, okay then. You actually got her. That's impressive.
Okay, she can do nothing. See, she is not stunned, so
I understand.
no special advantage against her. Days, she is unable to act normally on her next turn.
Okay.
No actions, but has no penalty to AC.
Gregor! What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Oh, I remember what I'm going to do.
Uh-huh.
I cast my spell, Touch of Gracelessness. Catherine.
I've been wanting to see this character class use that spell for, well, since I first got to try the class out and never quite got the good opportunity to cast it.
I'm going to also draw a wand
Mm-hmm.
that I keep on my side. It is a lovely wand that is made.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, with a pointed hand at the tip.
Indeed. So you cast Touch of Grace into Lady Catherine. It doesn't affect her, but she can reach through the barrier or step through it.
The barrier.
Mm-hmm.
And touch the Mushroom Wolf 1. Well, this will be a touch attack.
Mm-hmm.
It is a touch. I'm not worried about power attack for this. This is just a
That's
touch
okay.
attack.
This is funny, actually, because this is going to force.
That will hit.
She touches the wolf. There's a saving throw involved, isn't there? Or is there?
There is.
'Cause it's-
I
no,
think there is. Let me
wh-
double check.
Normally, if there's a touch attack roll, you don't get a saving throw on top of that. But
It's
sometimes you
Ray
do.
of- It's like Ray of Enfeeblement, where you take.
But for dexterity.
plus X amount versus strength, but this is versus dex. Yeah.
Mm.
Was it touch of
Gracelessness.
gracelessness?
The humorous part about this is that now Ulna's going to want to go through the barrier in order to go help her.
Well, it's got handles on it. She could manipulate the barrier.
Oh, I know. This is
Okay, touch a single. You reduce a creature to a fumbling clown. Fortitude save for partial.
Oh, mate, this is so perfect.
Target takes a penalty to its dexterity equal to a d6 plus 1 per caster level. For 2 caster levels.
So D6.
So D6 plus 1, save for half, yeah?
It's a first level, so it'd be d6 plus 2 because I am third.
No, you don't get full levels. There's a fourth level you get plus 2, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to presume a 21 will save.
Yes, it will. So it only takes 1d6 plus.
And the
1.
beauty of that, it's not damage. It's just suck it.
Okay, so here's the thing. She reaches out in her spectral form and places her hand within the creature, and it shivers and trembles, and then, you know when a puffball just goes puff and like spores go everywhere? It does that.
Interesting.
Thank God she's ethereal. I mean, incorporeal.
This is awesome. So, 15-foot radius, apparently.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, this will be fun. I'm going to have fun with the tome. What's it now? Boo. Boo. There we go. Poff! Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know about that.
Everyone in the cloud who is not incorporeal gets to make me a fortitude save. Hooray! What fun.
Mm-hmm. I hope
A fortitude save with a non-set DC that's not listed in the stat block, and yeah, fun.
typically it's 10 plus half hit die plus.
Hang on, I'm looking to see if anything mentions it at all. Alright, let me just... So, extraordinary...
Yeah, I rolled it.
Poison 10 plus... Yeah, hang on.
Somebody rolled over me. Never mind.
15 on fortitude saves.
Mm.
I made it. Una made it. Paul, regrettably enough, did not.
Daradella Cornet passed a save. Did anyone fail to get a 15?
Yes.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You breathed in these fungal poisonous spores and you're kind of choking and spluttering, and hey, you get to have fun. You get 1 point of constitution damage,
Doesn't count yet.
and you get to be fatigued for 1 minute.
Ow.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's the harsh part of it, okay?
Can't run a charge. Fine. Condition single whatever that is, isn't it? Yes.
Fortunately, it doesn't apply yet.
This is true.
Well, I know not to do that again.
Well, it applies to me, doesn't it? Mm.
Now, lingers in the air for 10 rounds. Got it.
I was meaning the con damage doesn't apply until you
I
get
know.
2 full points.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, yeah.
Just make a note of it.
No,
This is round 3.
so round 13, end of round 13, or her turn round 13 finishes then.
That's not what I was.
Thinking of, okay. I have to step away for a while.
I was checking how many more saves you need to make to shake it to stop losing Constitution.
I can
Yeah.
move away for a while, so I'm mooting.
So that makes it Ulna's turn. The barrier is still in place at the moment.
Okay. This barrier is about to become an improvised weapon as I'm going to use it to smack her.
Awesome, do it.
But I'm going to delay... Not delay, I'm going to ready. When she goes to cast the spell, I'm going to pop her with it.
Okay, it's an improvised weapon weighing about 400 pounds.
Okay?
But it's rather unwieldy, but you can kind of jostle and shove with it and stuff. It'll be interesting and fun when it happens.
I've got 17 strength,
Yep.
but Ulna will delay, or not delay, but ready. When she goes to move her hands or touch her ally or whatever, it looks like she's casting a spell. I don't have spellcraft, so if she does something with her hands, that's casting a spell. Unfortunately.
Alright, that's fine.
Because Ulna is clueless.
Eric, are you waiting for the mushroom to appear again?
I want to cut the mushroom in half, so yes.
Okay. Awesome. Right. This mushroom wolf crouches and springs straight through Lady Catherine and almost concusses itself on the wall on the other side of the barrier there. What did you think it was going to do? You know,
No idea.
not only is it like, less than animal intelligence, it's also a bloody mushroom. You know. It's not renowned for its powers of logic and reasoning.
Well, that's funny. Did that one blow up too?
No.
Oh, thank God.
And it's Virgil's turn.
Alright. The peacock is going to fly back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go and look at Duradilla Cornet, and I'm going to intimidate the fuck out of her.
You do that.
And
She keeps...
I have been debating on how I'm going to intimidate her.
Okay.
And what
It's easy. You just need to...
just because
You just need to sing the one more cornetto song. It'll scare the shit out of her.
No, thank you. No, what was the witch's name, by the way?
You don't... Wait.
Blairstone Witch?
Ariadna?
No.
Yes, Ariadna, the Briarstone Witch, the one you did research about in the library, in the asylum, and managed to find her name, I believe.
Mm-hmm. No, it was just, what is her title?
I think it's the Briarstone Witch.
The Briarstone.
It's either the Briarstone Witch or the Thrushmoor Witch, but I think it's the Briarstone Witch.
Thrushmoor or Briarstone. So I was going to go and do something like that because this was the cave of the Briarstone Witch, right?
Yeah, she was apparently here at the town's founding itself, when the original settlers moved in.
Well, I'm going to go and intimidate her, and I'm going to go and say things along the lines of, I've come back to reclaim my cave.
Go for it.
Acting like I am possessed. Or just mad. Actually, yeah, madness sounds like a good one. Rawr.
Oh, nice. Doesn't quite seem to scare her, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I figured.
Nice try, though.
Yeah, I rolled a 5, by the way. It's only because I have... That is a class skill for me. Why is it not a... Yeah, there's the class skill bonus. Okay, I don't have a charisma bonus. That is why I don't have anything.
The mushroom wolf that went Poff tries to eat the ghostly Lady Catherine form rather unsuccessfully. Daradella Cornet does nothing because she was dazed this turn. Lady Catherine is currently incorporeal. And it's all gone really quiet. Hey Glenn,
Just out of
are you there?
curiosity, What was the DC to go in Intimidator?
Her? About 20, I think.
So I couldn't. So I could have gotten it. Okay.
Yeah.
I just rolled very, very low.
When you get a 17 at this level and say, I rolled very, very, very low, that implies you have a very good skill bonus there.
So I have...
I see what you rolled, don't worry, I'm just pointing out that a third level character having a skill that high is quite impressive.
Well, I have effectively a +3 charisma thanks to the peacock. I have effectively a... with skill focus, another +3.
Okay, moving on to Lila because it's kind of
My
dragging a
turn.
little moment. Yep.
Is that barrier still there? I can't see it.
Yes it is, and you can start your turn by making a fortitude save against poison.
Yep. The barrier's there because I have a character holding it.
That is a good fortitude save. You do not suffer any constitution damage this round.
Okay, can I shoot the lady? If I want to shoot the lady, what penalties do I have?
She's behind cover, and there's an intervening person. So cover.
Just cover, so fine.
Yeah.
And she seems to be a nasty person, so I can shoot her. Okay, no mischance, gravity blast, single attack, burst hits, burst damage, point blank shot, add cover. This is obviously a physical bludgeoning attack if it hits.
Mm-hmm.
AC 70 with penalties, the hit. No.
Ooh. No, it's not.
I put point blank shot in there. Clutching at straws here. Yes, I have put point blank shot
Yes,
in
you
there.
have. That's okay.
I missed for one.
And now for the moment of truth, as the big bad giant mushroom appears to lurch towards Eric once again. He gets to slice at it with his scythe or sickle. I think it was a scythe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
He swings with his scythe madly and misses, and then the mushroom bears down upon him with its gaping mushroom mouth of Mario devouring death. Rah, chomp, and then it disappears again.
Mario devouring death.
Hey! The mushrooms have got to get him back someday.
Yep. Yep.
Azure, it's your turn.
I am going to take a step forward.
Tell you what, I'm almost tempted to call this at the end of the round because it's getting a little late and we seem to be down 2 players now.
actually, I hate to say it, but I might have to leave. My mom's got to go to bed, and my nephews are
Okay,
still there.
we'll call it at the end of the round then.
I am going to take penalties for firing into melee, and target has cover. And
All
I'm
right.
going to be targeting the woman.
Okay.
And I miss with an acid splash.
You miss really impressively.
Yes.
Wow.
I tried to be nice.
Gregor, Glenn, are you back yet? Giving him a few moments. Well, he has to make another poison save anyway. So we'll do that. That's a good poison save, he's okay. You know what, shall we just leave it here and have him pick up next time?
Yeah, probably a
Sorry
good
about
idea.
that.
Oh, well, you're back. You have passed a poison save, you're still in the puffball cloud, we were waiting for you.
Back?
Also, Lady Catherine was put on hold because you seem to be away.
No, that's fine. She would be behind, second to me anyways, because
Okay.
she'd go after me anyways because I cast that spell, and I will do it again, and she will do a touch attack on here.
Doesn't she need to be adjacent to you when you cast the touch spell?
Nope.
Okay. What's she going to do?
The same spell.
Awesome. Make
She's
that
gonna
touch
do it on
attack.
the druid.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see. Attack. Touch.
Oh, she's
Oh.
no longer dazed. She came out of being dazed on my turn.
I know. However, that is a critical touch of gracelessness,
Yes, it is.
which means you do get to do 2d6 plus 2 dexterity damage, and she gets to save for half.
Mm-hmm.
2d6 plus 2, yeah.
Is it?
Pretty badass.
Which save is it? Fortitude?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. She may have failed.
Is a first level spell plus my charisma or my wisdom? No, to 14.
Oh,
She
okay.
will make it, but she takes 3 points.
3 points. So we'll call it 2.
I rolled 7. It should.
Yeah, it doesn't round up, unfortunately. Well, that's half her Cat's Grace spell negated. Awesome. Ulna.
Ula is still ready to action, waiting on her to try and cast something.
Okay.
Or
Oh.
basically do something with her hands is what she's interpreting as casting,
Um.
because she doesn't know how different people cast spells.
Oh, hey, Glenn.
Yes.
Because you passed the initial poison save and passed the one this round, you don't need to make any more.
Oh, good.
But that does mean Ulna needs to roll.
Yes, it does, and she gets to make a fortitude save. Okay, she's alright. She doesn't need to make any more either. I'm going to presume Eric is going to hold and wait on the mushroom again.
Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and get off and go take over from the Womp. So
Okay, well, in that case, the second mushroom wolf goes poff, and poisonous clouds go everywhere, and you can all roll saves for that at the beginning of the next session, because this is a good time to call it, I think. It's like 2:30 in the morning. Hope you guys have enjoyed this session, violent and brutal though it has been.
By the way, Evan, sorry, not Evan, Raph, I was going to try to book our accommodation for charges, but they said bring up tomorrow, so tomorrow I'm going to ring up for the rooms for tomorrow, okay?
Okay, cool. I'll just save a copy of the campaign locally so I can work on it. Also, when you guys are done with this map, I'll get to remove this map!
Yay!
Going to save my
I know that'll make Evan very happy.
Yeah.
And I'll just end the recording here. Okay, so bye to everyone.
Bye!
Bye, Galarian.
Bye.